Yo, what's happening, Ginger Giants? Welcome back to our channel.
Hey Ginger Giants, welcome back to our channel.
We hope you had a stunning Easter weekend with your family, your loved ones. If you are staying by yourself, we hope you still had a good time, good vibes, and enjoyed your virtual services. And yeah,
man, we hope you're still keeping safe, staying indoors, and man.
And make sure to like this video if you are still keeping safe and staying indoors.
Yeah, so like this video. Before we go any further, just like this video because we know you are staying safe and staying at home.
Exactly. So today, you've seen by the title of the video, we are going to be telling you guys about the few things that we tolerated while we were dating, that we were not too fond of each other, but we tolerated them anyway. We're going to name 3 things each, and you guys can just get to know us a bit better by that.
And our relationship and the evolution of our relationship.
Yeah.
Can
we start?
Yeah.
Do I start? Can you start?
Go ahead.
No,
Baby,
oh,
start. Yeah.
Ah,
Ching chong cha. Ching chong cha. Yeah. So I get to choose who starts, so I'd like you to start.
Okay, so I will start. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing that I tolerated with Mzwandile while we were dating was his love for hip hop. So him and I both love house. We love a lot of music genres, right? But Mzwandile also really likes house. No, hip hop. And I'm not a huge hip hop fan. Like, it's really just certain songs that I like, and most of the time the type of hip hop that I like is like soulful hip hop, like hip hop that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Hip hop that's not just a whole lot of noise. So Uzwan, obviously when we were dating, he'd send me songs, he'd say, listen to the song, I like the song, I'm talking about the lyrics, whatever. Some songs would remind him of me, etc. And obviously because I was feeling the guy, I'm still feeling the guy. The song would grow on me, I'd listen to the song now and he'd be like, Kumbula, and I remember, oh my word, varsity days. I'd listen to the song now, but I still feel like, how did I like this song? It's a nice song, obviously because it reminds me of us, but it's a matter of how did I like the song. So I really tolerated that when we were dating. I tolerated his love for hip hop. He still loves hip hop, but he doesn't make it a point to baby, let's listen to the song. Whatever. He listens to his own songs, I listen to my own songs. So yeah, that's one thing I tolerated. I'm glad that phase is over.
Okay.
Yeah. Next.
Go ahead.
No, say yours.
Oh, must I say mine?
Yes.
So the one thing I tolerated about my wife, when we started dating, is the fact that she was stubborn. Like, my wife was really stubborn. And I get that we all have an element of being stubborn. Like, we naturally all have that element of being stubborn and feeling like, no, I'm right, no one can tell me, and you're confident in whatever you're doing at the time and all of that. So we all have that element. But my wife, guys, my wife was really stubborn. And that concerned me to some extent. Like, her level of stubbornness was just, it was crazy. It was really crazy, I'm telling you. And it really concerned me, it bothered me. And because I was wondering, what's going to happen in future? That means my views are never going to be seen. Like, I'll never be able to be within this relationship. It's always going to be a one-sided relationship type of a thing.
Really, it wasn't like a one-sided thing. It was just a matter of, I'm sure of myself and I'm sure of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not that I am disregarding what you're saying, but I feel like what I'm saying is more correct.
Yeah, I get that. And my wife is a strong woman. She's a powerful woman. She's confident. So I get that all those elements came from that. But still, baby, you were really stubborn. However, with time, we obviously discussed it. Finally got the courage to tell her that, you know what, your stubbornness kind of bothers me. Your level of stubbornness bothers me, and we discussed it, we spoke about it, and she kind of eased up and things got a bit better. She still is a bit stubborn, but it's gotten better, and yeah, so that's another thing that bothered me, that I've tolerated. And yeah, it's not even about my place, but it's just about, as adults, when we view things and discuss things, don't be too stubborn, especially if you are wrong in that particular situation. Just say, okay, acknowledge the fact that you are wrong, and let's move on. So that's another thing I tolerated about my wife.
Okay. My second thing was oh guys, this is probably like the worst one ever. Mzwandile literally over explains everything, and back then how do I say this? Obviously back then I was learning, like I was trying to get to know him, whatever, and I liked this part of him, and it wasn't a matter of he was over explaining then. He was just like really detailed in the things that he explained. But now sometimes the stories that he would tell me that back then, he's already told me, but he will over explain that story again, and I just feel like, oh, what's fighting this over this, and you're still telling me the color of the grass that day. You're still telling me there was an ant next to the car before you drove off. You're still telling me there was a chip on a certain window, and you know, like I just feel like Mzwandile over explains everything. And I remember it's because or I don't know, like I just feel like his mind or brain works over time. He's a really smart guy, and he, like, I don't know if he's trying to give me the context, but I'm always like, baby, I know the context. Sometimes if he's telling me the story, he'd be like, baby, can't you me to, okay, I get it. I've said I get it. Meaning, okay, continue. Mzwandile, 10 steps back. Okay, before you get it, he'll tell me something else. I'm just like, but okay. I said I get it, you know? So that is something, that is something that I tolerated. I think I tolerated, obviously in the beginning of the relationship, Mzwandile, and he was explaining whatever he was explaining. I didn't know much about him. Middle of the relationship, I just feel like, okay. Okay, this guy, you know. But now it's just like, okay, no. In the middle of the relationship, I was already starting to see, no, I'm tolerating this thing. And I'm telling you, baby, don't over explain, especially when you're telling me things that you've told me before. Don't, like, get to the point. Also, my concentration span is not that long, so I just feel like, get to the point. Things are what we're speaking about. So yeah.
But I just like making sure that people get it.
Oh,
and
I get that.
Wait.
But I say, okay, I get it.
Okay.
Wait. Answer this. When I say to you, okay, I get it.
But you don't always get it. That's my issue. My wife sometimes will say, no, babe, I get it, it's fine. Then later on in the conversation, or later in that day or that week or whatever, when I'm like, oh, you remember what, she'd be like, what? No, I don't remember that. So that's kind of made my low-key OCD worse, because my wife would just agree to things that she doesn't remember later on.
Sometimes I'll agree to things because sometimes I'll agree to things.
So you're shooting yourself in the foot by just saying yes, because now I'm going to have to explain.
I've switched off because you're over explaining, and I've switched off and I'm waiting for you to get to the crux of the matter. Then I'll switch on again. It's okay, cool.
Guys, my wife.
That's one thing. Yeah, guys.
But it's gotten better.
It's gotten better, but it's still there. And the reason why it's still there is because Mzwandile, great for our kids. Like, our kids will be like, they'll be sorted because their dad is gonna explain everything. Most guys, they're going to be smart kids from the get-go. But I'm just like, but so much is Christ Day.
Babe, you're dramatic.
Okay.
But anyway, my second point, and it's kind of tied up in a way with the first point, but it's the fact that my wife has always had this Miss Independent steez about her. Yeah, and that's not a problem. It's okay and all of that. But with our relationship, what bothered me was the fact that I felt like she wasn't letting me in. I remember when I first discovered the chocolate that she liked at the time, which was a Kit Kat. I bought her a Kit Kat, and she said no, she didn't want to take anything from me. Like, she just didn't want to take things from me. She didn't want to take money from me. She didn't want anything that came from me. And it came from a good heart at the time. Well, everything still does. But that used to bother me. The second time was when I tried to buy a lunch on campus. I wanted to buy a lunch. Obviously, chilling with, the bay, whatever. Let me buy a lunch. She didn't want. She really didn't want me to buy a lunch. She literally didn't want anything.
I can buy my own lunch, dog.
It's fine, but I'm offering.
No, I get you offering, but it's okay. Now you know it's fine. I'll pay for my own lunch.
Okay. Then it further went on. There was this time she wanted to do her hair. She was supposed to go and do her hair. So she was still waiting for her mom to send her money and all of that. I'm like, how much is the hair? I'll give you the money and all of that. She's like, no, it's fine and all of that. She didn't want to take my money. And like that really bothered me because it was a continuous thing and I felt like you weren't letting me in. And not that I was trying to buy your love or buy whatever from you via material things or money and all of that. But it's natural, like when you love someone, you naturally want to do things for them, you want to spoil them, you want to treat them. It bothered me that she wasn't letting me in. Like that really, really bothered me that, my wife is not letting, like what's happening? Is there something I'm doing wrong or what? And I wasn't trying to buy you or anything, but just wanted to support my girl. And yeah, but I later found out through communication and me eventually voicing it out with what is the issue? Like, what is the problem? And she told me that obviously, I was brought up this type of a way. My mom has always taught me not to rely on men and not to do this and that, not to always take things.
Because men are trash, guys.
So, but you're gonna lose all of this because I was gonna be like, this girl doesn't wanna let me in. Let me just.
Look me, bro. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But it was meant to be because you're still here. No. You're still here, so it was meant to be. And I just feel like it's a matter of I was brought up that way, and to a certain extent, I feel obviously you've tolerated it, but to a certain extent. Now, it took a lot for me to allow you to start doing things for me and to allow you to start, stepping in and me allowing you to take over. So it was a challenge for me as much as it seemed like, no, I'm fine, but it was a challenge for me as well to learn how to allow you to do things for me. Yeah.
And now, yes, sis. I think I want that girl back. I'm kidding.
Okay, so my last and third one is Mzwandile's love for sports. You guys, sports. Okay, first of all, Mzwandile loves all sports. Like all sports. Like sometimes you be like, okay, I'm so happy soccer's not playing today. Girl, something else is definitely playing. Whether it's cricket, whether it's basketball, whether it's golf, he will watch any sports. Really, Mzwandile will not be bored with a sports channel ever, right? So his love for sports. So when we were dating back then, we really used to attend a lot of soccer matches at the stadium, right? And that was fun. It was nice dates. And it was cute, man. It was cute. It was a nice day out, especially because I lived at home. So eventually I'd have to go home. So being with him anyway is really fine. But we don't do a lot of that now anymore because I'm not too crazy about soccer. And back then, obviously, I'm doing it more for him than me. But also, me doing it for me is me allowing myself to go out with my boyfriend and have fun. We don't do a lot of that now. I really do prefer staying in my house than going to a land stadium to go and watch the boys, So, and the thing is also Mzwandile, he was the first person he was the first and only person to actually ever buy me my first soccer jersey / Orlando Pirates jersey, right? So he's really passionate about the game and all of that. And that thing that I can't stand, like when you're out and you're wearing the soccer jersey and everyone just feels like they can speak to you and
become family with
I can't do that. Like then they want to speak to you about the game and tell me which was on Shire today or Sebashaya today. Guys, I'm not the type of a person, So that also just makes me feel like I don't want to go anywhere. If I'm wearing that t-shirt, I will wear it indoors with you, or I'll go to the match wearing it, come back home. I don't want to go to the mall, whatever. No. You see all of that. I don't want to entertain these people. Like, I guess like it's the spirit of the game. It's sportsmanship or whatever, but not for me. And it's okay, So I really tolerated that back then, and yeah, like matches going forward, like no more that t-shirt, my normal clothes.
All right. So my third and last point, which I tolerated, I don't even want to say I tolerated, but this was kind of like an issue, and it made me so anxious at the time. Like I was really, really like it was a thing. And looking into the future, I was really anxious about the future. But it was the fact that my wife was deeply rooted into traditional practices and all those type of things. And I didn't grow up.
Underground gang.
And like I wasn't like into those things. Like, so I didn't grow up that way. Like my dad's side of the family, they practice all these traditional things and all of that. My mom's side of the family doesn't. And I decided to take that route of my mom's side of the family where we don't practice all these deep traditional things and all of that. So I got a bit anxious about that and like really worried that, if I date this girl, because my wife and the thing is we both Zulu and at that. So I was still worried if I were to marry this person. You see, I was already thinking about you and our future and all of that. But I was really worried that I'm going to have to incorporate these things into my household, things I don't believe in, things I don't want to do. So that made me really quite edgy and all of that. And the thing is, when two people come together, obviously there's different backgrounds, different personalities, people are not the same. So two people are coming into the relationship, and the relationship in a way needs to be represented by two people, even though you're becoming one, but it needs to be represented by two people. So I didn't also want to force you to stop all those things or change those things or whatever. I didn't want to change who you are. But it did worry me and bother me to some extent that these are not the things I want in my marriage and in my relationship. And then for my kids as well, I really didn't want that. So it did become a bit of an issue.
And I think it's something that also really made you edgy in terms of, obviously when we were in varsity, when I'd go away for holidays or whatever, or some weekends and I'd tell you, I'm going ngekhaya, ngeThekwini, and umsebenzi ekhaya. Mzwandile would always side-eyeing me, and he'd ask me condescending questions with, so and I'd be like, this guy, honestly, I'm really not having a conversation with him, because sometimes Mzwandile can be really, really spicy, but obviously I think back then he was still trying to nurse the situation, because obviously he doesn't want to offend me. We're still in the dating phase, and so he can be really spicy. So the questions he used to ask me, and then he asked me weird questions, so do you really believe in that? And I'd be like, my friend, what do you mean? I'm actually going home for this.
I used to kind of hint as well what I believe in, so that you can know already that what's gonna happen in the future, type of a thing. And some of the things I already knew, but I just wanted to see Uti, because a lot of people tend to believe certain things because they kind of forced to, and they feel they do have to do this because they're parents and all of that. But so I was trying to find out, is this who you really are? Did you take that conscious decision to be this person or to do these things, type of a thing? So but luckily as time went, she gradually moved away from those things. So now things are cool. Now everything is sorted.
You're comfortable with making me the mother of your kids.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt.
But guys, and that is the end of the video. That is those are the things that we tolerate while dating. However, you just need to be conscious of red flags. Right? We're not saying you need to tolerate everything. We're just saying, when there are deal breakers from the get-go, that you just feel this person is not changing, then walk away. Don't settle because your person is out there, and you feel if you feel you're asking for too much in whatever that you're asking for, then that person is not for you. You're never asking for too much. So, but these are things that we could tolerate. They're getting better now, and guys. guys, we're married. Like we are
Yeah.
within second year of marriage.
Yeah, so hope you guys like got to know us a bit better. I know a lot of people have been curious about the evolution of our relationship, where it all started and all of that. So we hope you kind of got to know us a bit better. And yeah, man. But overall, I think another thing we wanted to kind of portray with this video is the fact that communication is important.
It's
like my wife did say, don't settle. First of all, start off by obviously expressing yourself. You're never asking for too much. You are not non-realistic, if I can put it that way. A lot of people tend to say, no, that person is not being realistic because they want this from a guy or they want this from a girl and all of that. But if that's what you stand for and that's what you want and that's important to you, then don't ever say, you know what, let me just settle and all that type of thing. So, but the first point is communication is key. Tell your person the things that you don't like, and yeah, especially if it's the beginning of the relationship. If there are things that develop within the marriage or within the relationship, also communicate those things as well. That no, baby, I'm starting to see this and all of that.
It might not be easy to communicate certain things in the beginning of the relationship. I think also we tend to nurse situations just so you know the person can warm up more to you. You don't want to rock the boat in the beginning. So now assess the situation. Mzwandile, you know, come back and when can I say certain things, etc.
Yeah, but don't wait too long, because you don't want a person to carry on with certain things. Then after a while you're like, no, I actually don't like what you're doing. Then be like, I've been doing this for the past 10 months or whatever. You didn't have a problem with that. So why are you only telling me now? Then it becomes an issue. So don't wait for it too long. Like just assess the situation and go on for the kill.
Don't forget to comment down below and let us know what you have had to compromise or tolerate within your relationship, dating phase, tolerating now,
marriage
how it
phase,
feels exactly.
New development.
Don't forget to follow us on Siza _ Mzwandile _ and Mzwandile and Siza on Instagram.
Yeah, go check out, like, look at how pretty she is. Like, look at how pretty my wife is. Go check out her IGTV video. Like, she did some makeup.
I created this look and it's on my IGTV on Instagram. So yeah, guys.
Like my wife and makeup, like guys, I feel like, where's the gold medal? Like, I feel like, where's the gold medal? Guys, come on.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.